It's no time like now to take advantage of saving on beauty, skincare, and fragrance. The Sephora Savings Event is my favorite time of year to stock up, load up the cart, and save my 20% as a Rouge member. If you're not familiar with this event, you will be able to save based on your tier, and you will be able to access this sale at different times, again, depending on that tier. So Rouge members will have first dibs, honey. This will start October 31st, and you will get to save 20%. VIB members, the second tier, 15% is what you can save on any of the products that are included in the savings event. The date you will be able to access the sale is starting November the 4th, and it will go through the 10th. And the last tier, 10% for any beauty insider. So if you sign up to become a beauty insider, you can participate in the savings event. And again, you will have access to those savings as well starting November the 4th through the 10th. Now, anyone who's a beauty insider can save 30% on any Sephora branded products. And they're already super competitively priced compared to mid and high range brands. So being able to save an additional 30%, like that is a no-brainer, all right? So if you want all of the deets on this fabulous eye look, then just continue to watch. Don't do a jump scare, okay? Listen, I'm only barefaced because we're going to dive into makeup, skincare, and fragrance so that you will be fully prepared to shop the Sephora Savings Event. This one is going to be a hodgepodge of some of my wish list items. We're going to talk about a star of a product, I think, because this is my first time using it, but I'm so excited. And we're going to, of course, chat about some of the fragrances that I will be upgrading to full bottles and a couple full bottles that I have that you absolutely need to get in your collection, all right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this video. Okay, so this is going to be really chit-chatty. This is going to be somewhat of a get ready with me because what I want to focus on today is the eye look. Oh my God. So Danessa Myrix has launched the LIGHTWORK 7 palette, and this is to commemorate her 10th year, you know, as a brand. And I'm super excited to dive into this. The color stories featured, like many Danessa products, can be really scary because she uses so many bright, beautiful colors, but she actually decided to give us some mattes in this palette. And I just think that no matter what color story, oh my God, like you're going to just stun, like the quality of her formulations. The packaging in this one, it's like she continues to innovate, and highly, highly underrated brand. Black owned beauty brand. And I just think that she is really at the top of her game with what she continues to bring to the market. So if you have never tried anything from Danessa Myrix, I highly encourage you to. Some of the skin prep that we're about to get into for the eyes will feature her products. And I'm going to try to link all of the beauty featured in today's finished look, but for the purposes of time, we are going to really just focus on the eye look. And honestly, you guys, I have never done a blue eye look in my life, and I think that is what I'm going to try to attempt today. If this look goes south, don't blame me, okay? I'm just trying out a new look, and you know what? Sometimes it doesn't always work out, but I just need to jump in and just try it. What do y'all think? Like, I'm saying that and I'm like so scared at the same time. But purple, like I can work with purple. Like, I'm not new to this. You all know this color right here with my skin tone, easy peasy. This, frightened. So this is going to be a lesson to just dive in, honey. It's makeup. It's not rocket science. It's not brain surgery. If it works out for you, great. If not, you can always wash it off and start over. So I don't know who I am, but in 2025, I have become a eyes first girl. I was never that way, but y'all, like, as I get older, the lines up here just, okay. And so when I do my makeup, I do a lot of this. And so to prevent my look from starting to crease at any point or to delay that, doing the eyes first is helping with it because I don't have to do any of this other than just doing my eyes. So I figure if I do my eyes first and then do the rest of my base, then that really does minimize that issue. So what I want to do is start with the Yummy Skin. This is a little deluxe sample that I received. This is from Danessa, and this is the water powder serum. This is going to be really good for the dry areas. And so I would say you don't have to go all over with this. This is the place where I get oily, right up in here and maybe up in here. Little T-zone, but other than that, I'm just going to use my normal primer. So as far as the skincare, I just want to touch on two products that is really going to help prep your skin. This is from Laneige. This is the Bouncy and Firm Serum. After you've washed your face, you applied your toner. 2 pumps of this all over the face is really going to give you a youthful, hydrated, bouncy look, okay? And before I do a full beat, you know I love using lots of powders that can be very drying, especially under the eye. For me, a night cream, something really thick, but that also gets really deep down in the skin to hydrate it and moisturize it is what you need. So if you are drier under the eye, if you're a woman of a particular age, then the Dewy Skin Cream from TATCHA is going to come in clutch, because I do like to do a lot of concealer, which means you gotta really set the thing with the powder, and I don't want, you know, the heavy lines coming here. Using something really thick is going to be key in helping to alleviate that issue. So what I find is I can pal on all of the powders, all of the matte things, all of the finishing products, and I still look relatively youthful, and I don't look like a dry crib keeper. So my normal primer that I have been using for the most part of this year is from Milk, and this is the PORE Eclipse primer. I'm gonna put this pretty much everywhere else, and that's just gonna help keep the oil at bay. I feel like my skin is a little combination like, in that it can get really oily here. Here is pretty normal. I don't really classify any of my skin as dry, but in the winter, parts like right here and up under the nose can dry out. And I think that is just because when it starts to get cool, the fact that I use that red name, my skin can just become a little bit more dry in the fall and winter. So once that is done, I like to go in with a concealer. What you will find is that I'm doing just the little makeup up under the eye area before I start to do my eye color, because I don't like going in with all of these wet products after I have finished my eyes. Like, I don't know how people do that, but some people can do it and not mess up anything. I don't have a problem with things creasing in this particular area, so I will just go ahead and kind of go in with my corrector and foundation just in that area, so we really don't have to go through and touch on that again. So I'm actually going to take my tried and true little concealer brush, and I'm just going to take my brush and blend out this corrector. This is the Bobbi Brown corrector stick, and this is in the shade Deep Bisque. This has been the corrector that just does not fail me. I have used it for over a decade, like when it was first just available in the pan form, but I do love the stick formulation, I must say. It's perfect. And so anywhere where I feel like I just tend to be a little darker, or I have any discoloration, which especially for a lot of women of color, it's going to be, you know, under the eyes or around this area, definitely around the mouth and chin. But I do want to say, I feel like my skin has never looked this even in my entire life. And I really want to attribute that to this Pharmacy vitamin C product. I said, I think a couple months ago, that I was going to get back into doing my vitamin C every day. I have tried so many products, really expensive ones. This one, I started to see a dramatic change in the overall evenness of my skin within like a couple weeks. Like, I don't know what they put in this. I think it's because they were able to keep it so pure, because it's waterless. You know, the water content of a vitamin C product, it just degrades the product really fast, especially if it's like exposed to light, water. So the fact that they were able to put it in this like almost oil serum formulation, but an oil that really completely seeps into the skin, has just made it so effective. So if you've been looking for something to help even out the skin tone, take care of the dark, hyperpigmentation, I highly recommend that one. The next thing I want to do, I know this is a lot of priming, but your makeup will stay put for like seriously 8, 10, 12 hours. This is the Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder from Danessa Myrix as well. And you already see she's touching pan, and she will be repurchased again anywhere that I get oily. Okay, so this is going to help blend the corrector out, and again, we're just kind of going over the eye and nose area just really lightly with this product. A little goes a long way. You don't need a lot. And honestly, you guys, on like just normal life, Sharita, this is the product that I use as my everyday, I'm gonna say, powder, primer, foundation in one. Like, I only use one product a lot of the times when it's just every day I want to do a little touch of makeup, look refreshed. It's this. I do my eyebrows, which you're about to get into, and it's not a lot to be done because I microbladed, but I just want to do like a little Anastasia brow freeze to give it a sculpted look, and I throw on like a Fenty lip gloss, and that's about it. So if you're looking for just, I want to do one product, I'm a one product type of girl, I don't know what I'm doing, this is going to just, oh my God, I'm telling you, it's going to satisfy all of the needs. Okay, so I'm definitely overdue for a microblading retouch. It has literally been years. And when you first start out doing your microblading, you really can look at doing a retouch maybe like within the first 2 years once you get it. Then it's like every time you go back and get it, you're going to need them less in between. So like I said, I feel like it's been probably, I'm not even gonna lie y'all, like four years since I had a retouch. And as you can see, for the most part, my brows still look put together. Like I don't do much to them. Like they still look filled in, and my brows are crazy sparse looking typically. So before I microbladed, I had to like really like do my brows every day, or I would just look absolutely crazy because it's like they were wide set and sparse at the same time. Like, what are we doing? Okay, so sometimes it can be confusing because your monitor gives you like the opposite image, and so I can get confused visually. So sometimes you go see me pick up the little mirror. So once I have that on, I'm just gonna take a little brow powder and fill in some of these areas that really need to be retouched with my microblading. So I'm starting like with a brow wax, and then I go in and do the powder. And what this is gonna do is basically just give you a more textured, layered look, because I do have really thin brows, so everything just tends to be a little flat looking. This is gonna give me just a little bit of volume, which I'm here for, definitely. All right. Okay, so the almost last step for the brows, y'all, and I totally forgot to add just a little bit of foundation around these areas that I don't want to touch on. I forgot to do what I said I was gonna do. See, this is why get ready with me's are so, like, it's so much to think about when you're doing your makeup and you're trying to talk. Like, it's a lot. It really is. I'm trying my best because y'all be on my behind about doing get ready with me's, and I'm like, girl, I don't think you understand. Woo! I don't know how the makeup girlies do it, but Jesus, it's like too much at times, I swear. Okay, so while I am doing this, let's touch on the first fragrance you need to get, all right? Buttercream Haze is in my cart. That's from the 7 Virtues, and honestly, you guys, I was on the fence about trying that one, like as a full bottle, because I wanted to blind buy it. But I said, you know what, just in case this maple is giving pancake syrup fully, like, let me just start with the travel. Loved it. So it's actually my scent of the day, and this travel will be upgraded to a full bottle. Hopefully it is not sold out, because as I'm filming this, I think the sale starts like in another couple days. So hopefully it's not sold out, because I absolutely want to upgrade it. Okay, so now that I have some of my foundation in place, I'm going to finish the brows. And so what I want to do is just make a few strokes. Again, we're just doing this to add a little dimension. And y'all, for the life of me, I cannot understand why I would buy these brow pens, which I love. Like, there is nothing like a good brow pen. But I'm like, why are these drying out so fast? Child, you got to store these upside down. The felt tip pens, store them upside down, and then you will be good. So I never knew that, and it made all the difference. And then the final touch for the brows is this Anastasia Pro pencil. It's in base number 3. I have a backup of this. If they ever stop making this pencil, I will die, because I used to be the girl, had to take the brush, the concealer, and it's just a messy thing, and it takes so long to just get it perfect. This is one fatal swoop, okay? You just take this little chunky pencil and you just draw a line. Okay, that is all you're doing to carve out the brow. That's it. Like, girl, you be there forever trying to get that concealer to do what it needs to do, depending on, you know, what concealer you're using, what formula. All right, and so once I have done that, I'm just gonna take that same brush, wipe it off, that I use for the corrector to blend it out. This is really dense and it's like a little angled, so this is just perfect for this. You can butt right up against it without disturbing anything. And I just drag down. And because it's like that creamy pencil and not like a true cream or, you know, a liquid or anything like that, it is going to just blend out so easy. You see that? And what I'm doing, I'm just tapping, honey, tapping and pulling down. That's all we're doing. And boom, perfect brow. And you notice we're not spending no 30 minutes on no brows. Like, people will spend an hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes on the brow. Honestly, if I wasn't sitting here talking, trying to like pay attention truly to what I'm doing and communicate to you guys. My brows, I'm normally done with them in about 3-4 minutes. Okay, 3-4 minutes tops. And that's pretty much our brow. Boom, and we're done. Okay, now let's get into this eyeshadow. Y'all pray for me. I kept going back and forth. Oh my God, like what outfit am I going to wear? What color? Because I kept changing my mind about the color story that I wanted to try from this palette. So you know what? If I put on black, I'm good to go. And so that's what I did. So I'm gonna prep the lid with this eyeshadow primer. This is from Rare Beauty. I really love this. My colors pop and my eyeshadow never creases. And so that one, honestly, once it is done, it will probably be a re-up. I just love that it doesn't apply too thick, too thin. It blends out beautifully. And it's just a wonderful consistency, I must say. Okay, I should have at least tried to find like a tutorial for blue shadow on a black or brown girl, because I'm about to be just winging it. So I think no matter what color you're going with, if you're a brown or black girl, it really does behoove you to put a little warm something to transition these really cool tones, because that would be really jarring to the skin if I did not. I'm gonna start with Toasted and we will see how this goes, because it might not be warm enough, but I'm just gonna see. You know what, you guys, I'm saying these colors, I think I'm gonna do just a teensy tiny bit of Rooted, and we're gonna see if that helps. Yeah, this is just a little bit more warmth, and I really think I'm gonna need that. And I like to bring it all the way up, right, to the brow. So this is my first time actually using mattes from Danessa. Everything I have as far as shadows, because I only have the Lightworks 5 palette, it's all like, you know, shimmers, foils, glitters. But ooh, I must say, this is a gorgeous matte formula. Wow, really pretty and easy to blend. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm still gonna put in that first little layer with Toasted, just so it looks the same and even, quite frankly. Okay, so next, oh my God, I'm scared. I don't know if these really dark colors are gonna have any fallout, because that can definitely happen with something super pigmented. Again, I've never worked with her mattes, but if we have to wipe the under eye clean and just do a little bit of, you know, corrector and foundation again, it's not a big deal. It's not like you've done your concealer, all the steps and baked, and now you got this crazy fallout. So what I'm gonna do is go in with this really dark black color. This is gonna be very dramatical, okay? And this is in the shade Grounded. Did I say that earlier? Did I say Rooted? I think the brown color we used was Rooted. This is Grounded. Okay, and so I'm just gonna stamp. Ooh, look how black she is. Oh, this is gonna be so pretty. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my pencil brush and just kind of blend it out a little. I'm taking it kind of like up and out, and I'm gonna do the same on the other side. So while I'm doing this eye, another fragrance that I want to upgrade to a full bottle is going to be from Chris Collins, and it's African Rebos. I don't know why I felt like that fragrance was beautiful when I first smelled it like years ago, but for some reason I don't know, I felt like it leaned masculine to me, and now when I smell it, I don't necessarily get that. So I have fallen in love with the Travel, and I am going to go ahead and upgrade it. Okay, so this is what we have for the black part, and I'm gonna take a smaller brush and just start blending this out a little, and I'm like dragging the blended version up into the crease. One thing I don't work with is a lot of black. So again, child, this is totally experimental, but in Danessa we trust. I'm sure are gonna come out with something that looks pretty stunning. Okay, so I feel like I've come up just a little too far on this side, so I'm gonna take that little brown neutral color and just kind of tone this down a little. And the excess, we're gonna just go back and forth. Okay, and I hope I have not made this look too warm, you know, going up this way, but we about to see, child. We about to see. So I know she applies the really bright foils a lot of the times with the fingers. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna try it, but this is really scary because I have nails. That's the only scary part. And I'm gonna try to keep this bright blue color just kind of like in the center of the lid. And look at that. It's almost like liquid, girl. And I'm just tapping. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, these formulas are impressive AF, like everything else. I mean, duh, that she does. Like, okay, so we can go in just a little heavier in some parts. I'm gonna see how this works with the brush. But even when I'm like putting it on the brush, like I'm wondering if it's gonna catch as much as it does on that finger. Oh, okay. So if you do a brush, prepare for just a little bit of like a fallout, which I mean, a color with this much pigment and payoff is kind of expected, but it's like a chunky glitter type formulation anyways. So I think I have enough of that blue on. What I want to do now, and y'all look, really no fallout. Like there was like this chunk of glitter that kind of fell out, but it didn't land on my face. I don't know where it went exactly. Oh, right here on my nose, I guess. But again, that is not a problem. We will take care of that. So what I think I want to do now, I may also go into this inner corner part with black also, just to make a super dramatic look. I could do something lighter like this, but I don't know. Oh my God, I wish I could take a poll so y'all can tell me what to do, because I don't know. I don't want to go too like with the silvers. Like I don't really think I'm going for that particular look. Maybe we'll try this. Oh my God, I'm scared. Maybe we'll try this. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do it really light, see if it'll like kind of blend up, because this is almost giving me like gray and blue. Okay, I'm gonna do the same to the other side. Okay, now I'm gonna go back in with that black color because we really want to emphasize the drama, honey. Blending it out. Okay, so now what I want to do is apply my concealer. This is my Holy Girl concealer. This is the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer, and this is in the shade SX11. And why I do this at this step is to give this as much time as possible to dry down, because that is going to give me the most coverage. And if you have ever used this before, this is the most hydrating concealer if you are a woman of a particular age, or if you're just someone who finds that concealer is very drying under the eyes, especially full coverage. Okay, you need this one in your life, like absolutely. And it's almost like I could come back 30-45 minutes later, you guys, and this stuff will still be blendable. You will still be able to blend it out. And yeah, this, I mean, Holy Grail, like I'm never switching concealers, I think. Like that's just my opinion. And well, as we know with beauty, it can always change. So what I want to do is pop off camera. I'm gonna do my liner and my lashes, and I will be right back. And then we're gonna finish up the under eye area. Okay, we are back. I got a liquid liner on. I've got my lashes on, and these are the Lily lashes in Miami. You all know me, I am a Lily lash girl. Never even gonna consider changing my lash brand. Okay, so the concealer should absolutely have had enough time to set a bit, and honestly this may take a little while, so I'm probably just gonna fast forward through this part and we can do a little chit chat as well. So one of the fragrances that I recommend you pick up a full bottle of, or at least get a travel, it is going to be Casablanca from Brown Girl Jane. Casablanca is just one of those fall and winter staples for me now, and it really shocked me at how good it was. I don't know why I slept on Brown Girl Jane for so long, but the fragrances, they have a lot of gourmands, but they really are having a lot more depth and character and just sweet playfulness mixed with sexy than what I had ever suspected. And now that I have portions of that blended out, I'm gonna go ahead and apply all of my foundation because I really don't have to do this much. And today we have my Holy Grail Triclone foundation from HAUS Labs. Another thing I really recommend you try out and pick up during the event. It is pricey, but I think just a lot of these like foundations are nowadays. Like, I mean, makeup has just gotten really expensive post-COVID especially, but I just think that it is the most beautiful formulation. It looks like skin. You're getting all of the coverage, and like my skin looks so beautiful and youthful and alive, you know, but you know, full coverage back in the day used to mean you're gonna look just very dry. Like it was synonymous with dry. And that's just not the case anymore, you know, as the technology is changed over the years. But this is giving me all the coverage, all the glam without me looking too heavy and cakey. That's what I love about this formula. And I'm usually like a 2-pump girl. Really don't ever find the need to apply more than that, even for full coverage. So I'll say if you're a medium to light, maybe do 1, but I'm really, yeah, I have like more than enough with 2 of this foundation. Just because I've corrected, you know, I'm gonna conceal, like I don't need to just put an unnecessary amount of makeup on my face. So one of the biggest things you can save on is going to be Sephora brand, and I highly recommend you check out the brushes. I have gone through so many trials of foundation brushes. I've used the beauty sponges in the past back in the day, but this Pro Foundation 56 is just my tried and true. Like, baby, she's getting the job done. She's getting the coverage on there without absorbing too much product. She's getting it dispersed, and it's not, you know, leaving streaks all over my face. So saving 30% no matter your tier, like, what? And I don't know, I need to like kind of take stock and see what brushes are like, what do I need? What do I want to change or upgrade? Because whatever it is, I'm going to try a Sephora brush version of that. And blending this out up under the eye, you don't have to get all the way up under there typically, but I don't know, I just do it anyway, because honestly, when we go back in and put some shadow there, it's going to be covered by that, but I just want everything to look very cohesive. So I'm still gonna touch all the way up under there. And when I'm blending out, I usually actually do a mix of both. I use brushes, and I use my one size little puff thingy, and I use my one size little, no, triangle press puff. I don't know what these are called. But I just find that's gonna give me the smoothest application. Now for my nose contour, I just take whatever is left on this brush that I did my under eye, and then I just do a line straight down, okay? And I will just blend this little top part out as best as I can, but without going too high. Just kind of like in the T-zone is where I keep this, because most of my forehead gonna be bronzer, honey, okay? Reduce this 5 head as much as possible. I mean, I love my big forehead, but you know, we want it to look nice and warm. And y'all, after years and years and years of searching for the best contour brush, it is this one by TATCHA. And so what I do is I take the fluffy end for me is only for blending out the highlight. Then I come back in with my bronzer, and then I kind of define this area with my bronzer, a powder bronzer with this sharp end. So all you're doing to blend it out is just, you're just really just kind of going over the line. And when I say the perfect brush for this application, and you're just kind of glossing over the line and the edges just to smooth it out. That's all you're doing. You're not going to get this full perfect blend into, you know, into nothing, because you want to keep the definition there. And so we have a perfect little nose contour there. Okay, so once I have the concealer set, I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Powder Foundation in the shade 310. This is key to a smooth under eye application, and it's going to make you not crease, because you almost kind of need an in-between step before you go in with the powder. So what I do is go in with something very light, because if I'm not doing all this concealer in a full beat, normally it would be the 345, and I go a step lighter for a full beat to the 310. Okay, and we're just lightly dabbing this up under the eye very softly. You don't need a ton. This is just helping to set things in place before we go in with the powder. And again, it's going to give you something super smooth. And I find that it doesn't disturb my gorgeous concealer. And this shape brush is just like, you need to find this little doe foot. I don't know what it's called. I don't know. Like, this one is a Bobbi Brown, and it's a 3616. I don't know if they still make this anymore. I've had this for over a decade, to the point where the brush broke, and honey, I had to hot glue this thing back together because I never want to be without that brush. Okay, so under eye powder, I always start with the Cherry Blossom Easy Bake from Huda Beauty. Tried and true, beautiful highlight, even for women of color, if you want a bright under eye. The Ube, that was not for me. Like, I did not like the way that undertone of it was just too cool. Like, this is pink is gonna give you a little bit of cool and warmth in one, but purple is cool, and it was just too cool for my tone, for my skin tone personally. So when you are beginning to bake, especially if you got a lot of concealer under the eye, you don't want it to get shocked. Okay, so you're gonna take the puff, dab off all the excess, because you want the thinnest layer possible to start. Then, okay, we're gonna do the same with the other side. Then for my baking, I'm gonna take my little fluffy brush, Now I'm gonna put some up under the eye to bake. I'm gonna keep it right here, more so just like in that triangle area up under the eye. And because I didn't put on a ton of powder, I'm just gonna work this in all the way, okay? I'm not gonna really brush it off. If there are any little places where it's super excess powder, which I really don't have or see, we are just going to very gently dab that in. Now we're going to do the eyeliner. I have had this Marc Jacobs blue liner. This beauty line has been discontinued, so it doesn't even exist anymore, but you can use any blue liner. I have had this for years and years, and I have never used it because I've never done a blue eye. Have wanted to, never done it. Today's the day, all right? So I'm just gonna... Okay, so we have the blue liner in the waterline, and I am going to take this bright electric blue color again, and I'm gonna do a little under the eyeball on the front end. This is glittery, so I'm gonna try to be as careful as I can and just kind of as best I can to stamp. And then we're gonna go in with the brush that's a little angled, somewhat dense, not super dense, but not fluffy either. Then we're gonna add a little bit of the black on the ends. Just a little bit, just a little, very close to the waterline. Then we're gonna meet that blue. Then under that, yes, you need more. Again, so that we can really just make it look cohesive with my skin tone, we're going to add a little bit of that warm color again up under everything. And it's okay to really go down low with your under eye color. I was afraid to do that for years, but it really helps to bring everything together in a beautiful way. The last step for the eyes is we're gonna put a little bit of mascara, and we are using the Lancome. My daughter dies by this one, so I mean, I would have to agree. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this deluxe sample that I received from using my Beauty Insider points to a full size. And I'm going to get the waterproof just because, hey, I love a good waterproof mascara. Okay, so I'm gonna pop off, finish up the look, and we're gonna come back to wrap up this video with a couple more perfumes. Okay, you guys, so this is pretty much the finished look. I did one thing for the lips, and that is sort of selfish, the Fenty Gloss Stick. No liner, no gloss, no nothing, just this one product. Okay, so when I tell you this is an all-in-one product, it's an all-in-one product. Now, as of late, I have been obsessed with the Bright Fix. This is like an under eye brightener. This is the powder. I think they have a liquid and a powder form. This is a newer release from Fenty Beauty, and this is the shade Banana. So I'm just gonna do this little last part on camera, but you just take your little fluffy brush and you're gonna go just directly under the eye. This is going to give you so perfect of a finish under your eye. It's like crazy. Look how much smoother this looks and seamless compared to this side. Like, we thought we were snatched before, right? So we're just gonna do the same thing on this side. Ugh, like I cannot get over how good this thing is. Like, instant holy grail, honey. Instant, okay? So, not a little bit on the chin, girl. So that is the look. I have been sleeping on a blue eye my entire life. No more. Like, look at how beautiful this is. My first time ever trying anything like this, but I must say it looks stunning. So if you have been curious about this Danessa Myrix a LIGHTWORK 7 palette, be sure to check it out. Again, all of the beauty will be linked. Now, my last two fragrance recommendations. Girl, it is the season of vanilla. This right here, La Vie Belle Vanille Nude, is absolutely a stunner. It's really warm and cozy. It's like a gourmand vanilla, okay? Very cashmere and very floral. Underneath it, you will get the La Vie Belle DNA. And it's so funny because when I took this off and sniffed the nozzle today, I'm like, there's no patchouli listed in here if I'm not mistaken, but I was getting like this hint of patchouli on this dry down of the nozzle, and I don't think I was getting that before, but this has gotten a little older. I will say with the month and a half I've had it, and you're really getting that La Vie Belle DNA in there. But again, very, very dialed back. The vanilla gourmandiness is front and center in this fragrance, and oh my god, it is like a delicious hug. So check this one out if you're looking for something warm, floral, and vanilla coated. The last fragrance recommendation is another vanilla because 2025 is the year of vanilla. So please also check out the latest release from the Libre line. This is from YSL, and this is Libre Vanille Couture. All the vanilles and the vanillas, and like, this is a lot of vanilla we're seeing this year. It's crazy. crazy. But this one is also white floral, but you know, very different DNAs for both of these. So this is more about orange blossom front and center. You're going to get the lavender. It's not overly astringent or strong in that way. I would say dialed back from the intense. And a lot of people think they start out quite similar, but this, as it starts to dry down, it is all about the vanilla. It's very like rum, boozy, sexy, ambery, white floral vanilla fragrance. So if you're looking for something that is truly about the vanilla, out of all of the leaves, and I have tried the La Parfum, I have that one. I have tried the Intense. I owned it when it was first released. I wasn't getting any vanilla out of there. I don't know what was going on. Very scratchy experience for me. Decluttered it. This is the best leaf. If you love vanilla, or if you struggle with lavender and leaf and all of the things, if you want something really strong, really vanilla forward, then this is the one you should check out, all right? So again, be sure to shop the Sephora Savings event. It is live right now, November the 1st, which is hopefully the day this airs, and the event officially kicks off for October the 31st for Rouge members, and it will run through November the 10th. VIB is the next tier down, and Rouge members, don't forget, you get to save 20% on anything included within the event. Of course, some exclusions will apply. VIB members get to save 15%, but they will be able to start accessing the sale from November the 4th, and it runs again through November 10th. The third tier gets to save 10%. These are for all of my insiders. So literally, if you sign up today to become a beauty insider, you can take advantage of the savings event. Insiders too will be able to access the savings event starting November the 4th, and it will go through the 10th. I don't think Rouge members have been able to have a full 10 days of shopping. Like, has it ever been that extended? Like, that's crazy. So again, anyone that's a beauty insider will get to save 30% on any Sephora branded items. Be sure to check out the blushes, honey. Be sure to check out the brushes, and be sure to check out the lip products, because those are the three things that have been tried and true in my collection from the Sephora brand that I think can absolutely rival these luxury brands, quite frankly. Top tier products. So again, everything that I can link you guys, I will link it below in the description box. Drop me a line below and let me know what you plan to pick up for this year's event. And if you are feeling the look, I am feeling it and really pleased as to how the look came out, all right? So that is it for me, you guys. Be sure to check the description box again for all the details on how to become a beauty insider and to take advantage of Sephora's expedited and same day delivery options. It has been real. I love you all, YouTube, and I will catch you guys on the next one.